Welcome back, dear students, from our previous lecture. I think you enjoyed it. In today's lecture, our concentration is on project management life cycle, and we shall also have to look at some kind of bit of concepts involved within the cycle. We shall also look at the objectives, the kind of objectives, among others. Let's begin. By definition, or to give you a simple summary, the cycle we are talking about, or the project management life cycle, provides a framework for managing any type of project. So, as when you are managing projects, the life cycle will guide you. It will guide you through, and with the cycle, you will be in position to have an effective kind of project or successful project at the end. The cycle, most of the books talks about they talk about a number of phases, but in our lecture today we are going to concentrate on 4. I was talking about the project life cycle and its phases. As I said, some books may give you alternatives or the number of phases, but our concentration shall be on these 4 phases, and we are going to tackle one by one until we finish all. In our description here, we are saying that project has a definite beginning and end, and between the process, as we said, there can be divided, or there can be 4 phases. These phases, they are the ones we are going to concentrate on. Other books may give you more phases, but for us, we are going to concentrate on these 4 phases. We shall begin with the initiation phase, then we go to project planning phase, where we shall look at how to come up with a business plan, project plan, or project plan writing. Then we shall also look at project execution. How do you execute the project? And then how do you terminate the project? So we shall have details of all these 4 phases. Let's begin with project initiation. Here we are saying that this one is the start of the project, and the goal is to define the project at a broad level. When we say broad level, it's wide level, and it begins with the business case, where when you try to do research, you find out whether the project will be viable or it may not be viable. And if the feasibility test needs to be done, also you can do it within this stage. When I say feasibility, that is the pre-establishment of the project, or the pre-execution of the project. So you will have to, if it is required, then you will have to do it before or within this kind of phase. Okay. Important stakeholders will do their due diligence. When I say due diligence, this one, due diligence, it's a kind of visitation, or kind of estimation, or kind of because when they are doing due diligence, for those who are doing procurement, when we are doing due diligence, we try to find out whether components, resources, and all other requirements needed to complete this project are in place. If they are not in place, then you will find that maybe the project is adjusted, or you may get other alternatives. Otherwise, if the due diligence is successful, then the project will go on. That's why here we have said if it is given the green light, you will need to create a project, or what we call the project initiation document, the PID. I talked about this one in lecture 1, and the main intent of the PID is to outline the purpose and the requirements of the project. It also looks at the business needs, it looks at the stakeholders, it looks at the business case, it looks at the the objectives and all other requirements of the project. They are outlined in the PID, or the project initiation document. This document, it's very important because it gives us the artifacts, or the kind of prototype, how the project will look like. Okay, and it's the foundation of the project. Why do we call it the foundation? Because it provides the reference points which you will follow in the execution of the project to identify what the customer or your clients will need, and what you or your project team will also need. The project initiation document also provides reference points, as I said previously, and these reference points will help you to manage what the organization requires and what the output is, what the customer will benefit from the output. Okay, a perfect initiation document, or the perfect initiation, contains the following. 1. When you are writing the PID, you need to set what we call the project goals, or the goal. Goal is the aim or the intent of the project. In our definition here, we are saying a project goal is an idea of the future or the desired results. When I say desired results, I'm looking at the output of the project. Okay? And here we are saying people endeavor to reach goals within a definite time by setting deadlines. Because if you don't set deadlines, then you will not meet the goal. We can say that a goal is roughly similar to the purpose or the aim. And here we are saying it may also mean the anticipated results, which guides the reaction or the end. So when you don't have the goal, then you may not reach the end, because you may not be knowing what you are striving for. But after realizing your need to do something, that's when you will strive to reach the end or the goal. Here we are saying goals affect performance within the project in the following ways. 1. If your goals are not set well, if they are very difficult to understand or to estimate or to even to read or to explain or to interpret, then you will have to put in more efforts to achieve it. Secondly, goals increase persistence, and with the difficult goals, prolonging efforts will also be there. We can now say that goals indirectly lead to arousal and to discovery and use of task-related or task-relevant knowledge and strategies. When we say task-relevant knowledge, we shall see the difference between a task and an activity, and then from there we shall have clear image of what we are discussing about today. Let's look at also the approaches to project goals. We have a number of approaches. Some of you people, you know what we call SMART, the SMART approach, and this one is commonly used. But some of the organizations, you may find that they are using OKR, others they are using BSQ, others they are using ABC, others they are using FRAME method, and so on. Today we are going to look at these ones. Let's look at them and the meaning, because these are shorts. They are initials referring to specific words or ideas behind. The SMART goal approach. Here we are saying it's the common approach while defining project goals. And SMART, as I said, they are initials, or we can call it an acronym that may reflect specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, results focused or oriented, as well as time bound. When we talk about specific, here we mean that your goals should clearly define what you are aiming to achieve. They should clearly outline or define what you are aiming to achieve. Don't make or don't come up with goals that may not be achieved. Okay, then with measurable, we said here that your goals should also your goals should also include an indicator of progress. You will measure the goal success by. So if the goals the goals do not show the progress, then those goals may not be achievable or attainable. With attainable, you must have the appropriate knowledge, skills, and expertise. To achieve the goals we have already measured. And if you have the skills, can you be in position to attain or to achieve the results? If you are in position, will time be enough for you to achieve that? So that's what we are looking at here with SMART goals. As I said, SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, result oriented, as well as time bound. The second one is the OKR. The OKR stands for two things. One is the objectives, another one the key results. And with the objectives, we are looking at the broad goal, while the key results, we are looking at the number of outcomes. We shall not look at the output, because we are looking at the outcome, whether the project has reached the destination or the required output, or due to some circumstances it fails to reach the output. So what caused that? We shall even look at the cause of project clipping, and why some projects do not reach the desired outcome. Here we can say that setting OKR goals works particularly well for teams, as it allows to define strategies for the entire team as well as all individuals involved in the project. And as well, it provides metrics to evaluate their output. Okay. Then we have the BSQ. BSQ also is an acronym which stands for big, small as well as quick. Big, we look at thinking big. You look at wide area, but you need to put in more efforts. That's why we say act small. Then you have to work on time. That's why we say here move quick. You work on time, and if you don't work on time, then you may not reach the deadlines. That's why you will find some organizations, they work on only one project and they don't finish it. Another highlight here is that this method lies in its focus on action. It looks at actions, where each goal you want to achieve is immediately coupled with actionable tasks. The tasks are already outlined and stated, then defined by what needs to be done, but also by when it is supposed to be done. That's why when the team is well organized, tasks are assigned to those team members, and then they do their activities basing on the time scheduled together with the activities they are supposed to be doing at a particular time. That's why you will find the project has been, or a project is completed within a short limited time due to the efforts input by the project team. Another method is the ABC method, and this one focuses on goals aligned with your company's vision and mission, and it looks at achievable objectives, believable objectives, and controllable objectives. That's why we say ABC: achievable, believable, and controllable. In this method, you can set your goals that may not only help you and your team, but also objectives which are realistic and objectives that depend on facts or factors that can be controlled within the organization. Okay. There is also, the last one is the frame method. The frame method has some kind of similarities with the SMART, but with the frame we look at few, realistic, agreed, measurable, and explicit. When I say explicit, I'm looking at clearer. Then when I look at realistic, those are reasonable objectives. Okay, so these methods, as we have mentioned them, or as we have outlined them, that is SMART, OR, OKR, BSQ, ABC, frame, and others. There is some of the approaches to goal setting. In our next video, we are going to learn or to look at scope. How do you define the scope or the project scope, and what is involved in project scope. My name is John Bosco. I wish you happy time and see you in the next video.